Hi everyone, time to shine, Nick here. Okay, so today we're going to do a bit of cooking and I'm going to show you my way of doing spaghetti bolognese. Now it is quite a fairly simple dish to do, but I think spaghetti bolognese is one of my favourite dishes ever, so that's why I'm wanting to share it because it is a favourite of mine. We're going to go through here. Through that door is my kitchen, and we'll be spending the time in there cooking the dinner. So yeah. So if you'd like to follow me to the kitchen and we'll get started. So I'll be making spaghetti bolognese from scratch tonight. No doll meal, no like ready-made sauces. We're making it from scratch. So I'm just going to show you the ingredients that I will be using. Okay, so the ingredients that we're going to be using today for the spaghetti bolognese is steak mince, but you can use obviously lean mince as well, any mince that suits you really. And you'll also need an onion and some garlic. I would recommend about 2 cloves of garlic for the amount I've got here. I've got 325 grams of mince today, so it's not a huge portion. So I'll probably use half of this onion and 2 cloves, but it does depend on how much mince you've got. So the more mince you've got, the more onion and the more garlic you would use. But I'll be using half of this and 2 cloves of this. It's running away. And today we're going to be using a tin of chopped tomatoes, and this is quite a good thing. Fry light. Instead of using like oil, this is a 1-calorie spray, and I live by it. I mean, you don't feel guilty at all using it. It's only like 1 calorie per spray. So, yep, use that for when you're browning your onions and your mince. And also tomato puree as well. And the spices we're using is oregano, which is the usual standard that you would use, and a bit of paprika. Now we'll get to that later. That's something that I realised actually tastes quite nice with it. And of course some pepper, and you'll need salt for the pasta, and obviously you've got your colander for the pasta and your 2 pots. So yeah, let's get started on the cooking. So the first thing you're going to want to do is to start with your onion. So I'm just going to chop this one in half because we're only going to use half of it. And you're obviously wanting to get rid of all the skin. And you make sure that all the skin is off the board so that we don't get any in the dinner. And you're going to top and tail the onion there. Now the way that I chop the onion, I'm going to see if you can see this. So you're going to, basically, the best way to chop it is to go like really thin slices across, but don't quite cut all the way through. So I'll show you. And then what you do is just turn it round, and then this is what turns the onion into the dice shapes. And obviously you can just go about all the pieces, make sure they're all nice and small. Luckily this onion isn't giving me sore eyes tonight. Normally when I chop onions, my eyes like cry like a bloody Niagara Falls, I'm telling you, but this time it's, you know, not too bad, so that's good. Okay, so once you've done the onion, you want to start on the garlic. So I'm just going to show you. Just get rid of all this white stuff. Make sure you get quite big cloves. Make sure they're nice and big. So I'm going to try and scoop out some of the really big ones. Yeah. So I'm going to use these 2 cloves here. Quite big, so that'll give a really nice taste and also a nice smell to the dinner as well. Now ideally you want to use a garlic press for this, but I unfortunately can't find the little bucket that you put the dish in within the, you know, the crusher, so I'm just going to have to do it the manual way. So what you want to do first is you want to top and tail the garlic and then peel off the skin. So I'll do that first. So if you're doing it the manual way, just use a knife, just chop this in half first of all because it is quite big. So you just get the knife and just press down. Oh, that's if it doesn't try and run away from you. It really is better if you have a garlic press. This is quite embarrassing, but never mind. I'm gonna have to do, but I'll show you what I've done with the garlic. So that's roughly what it should look like when you've crushed it, but when you crush it with the crusher, it does make it obviously a lot more crushed, but we have to just work with what we've got, unfortunately. So the first part of starting to cook the meal is you need to give your pan a couple of sprays with this very light stuff. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 calories, a quill. What's 5 calories between friends, eh? So we're going to just pop this, I think what I might do, so that it cooks quite fast for you, I'm going to put it on this sort of medium sort of ring there, so it doesn't take forever. So let's see if we can spark this up. Cooking the gas, literally. Just put this nice and high. Oh, I hate when the oven does this. Goes out. There we are, it's staying this time. So just wait a couple of seconds just for that oil there to start heating up. And what you can do as well is just have a couple of onion bits there. Yeah, there we are, it's starting to cook already. Just put the onion in. And you just keep stirring till the onion has fully softened, and then make sure it goes white. And I'm never sure why they call it browning the onions when they go white, but anyway, they don't really go brown. But that's what the technique's called. Part is sticking your garlic, but that is thoroughly stirred in. Next part is getting your mince out. Put all the papers off and then just put the mince in small chunks, so it's not too much to stir at once. And just thoroughly brown the mince. Now this is going to take a bit of time, so I'm not going to make you sit here and watch this. So before I go briefly, I'm just going to show you the pot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stir all this and make sure it's nice and brown. So you can see that starting to brown nicely, and it's just giving up a really good sizzle. This won't take that much longer now. Turn this down just slightly, and then now that's all browned, you put in your sauce. Then what you want to do is squirt some of this tomato puree in. And that just makes it nice and rich. And also obviously is a thickening agent, so when it's doing its cooking process that'll help that. And then the fun part is putting in your spices. So the first one I'm putting in is lots of oregano. Just make sure that's thoroughly stirred in there. And then you want to do, pepper goes in next. And then the last part, you have to be quite careful with the paprika. Now paprika, I tried this once just as a sort of experiment, and it was lovely, but you don't put too much because obviously it's not meant to be like, you know, hot or anything, so it's just a tiny bit. Make sure that's stirred in too. Okay, so we're going to turn this ring off now. And what we're doing is we're going to put the pot onto the smallest ring, and we're going to let this whole thing simmer for about half an hour. So I'm just putting it right down, make sure that the flame's alright, and stick your lid over it, and then just leave that for half an hour. But during that half an hour, what you want to do, maybe every sort of 10 minutes, come and keep checking it and give it a good stir, just so it's not sticking to the bottom, and it's just making sure it's alright. Just coming to check on this now. Always lift the lid away from you, always. Oh, it's bubbling away nice. We'll just give that a good stir. Okay, so you can see that the Bolognese is now completely ready now, and all it takes now is just to do the spaghetti now. And it is boiled. It's always a lot quicker to heat the water in the kettle and put it in the pot, and then it boils just about immediately. So I'm going to do that. Just sprinkle some salt there, and then stick the heating on. So that looks as if it's bubbling quite nice there, so I think I'll just pop that in now. So that'll roughly take about 10 minutes, and obviously once that's done we can plate it up and we can show you the end result. And there you have it. That is the finished result of my version of spaghetti bolognese. And there we are, back in the living room, and I can enjoy this now. I hope you enjoyed that cookie demonstration. I've not actually done any kind of like cooking or baking or anything with the camera in a long time, so that was pure winging it. So I hope you enjoyed it and it was okay for you. And you should let me know if you try this version, and if you like it, let me know. And what I'll do, as always with all these demos and show and tells that I do, I will post in the description all the ingredients that I used, things that were featured in the video. So yeah, I love yous and leave yous. Bye.